tenable or untenable, celebrity tweets about COVID-19. Is the comedy worth the ignorance? We're obviously going to talk about the Nicki Minaj one, but right before we started recording, Kyrie Irving just tweeted, my mask is off. Now take yours off. No fear.
No fear. Lions, not sheep, right? What the fuck?
I think fear. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's. I was going to speak on the no fear aspect of the tweet that you were probably going to touch on, but I think that is the failing of this whole COVID situation, is that people are approaching this as taking precautions, show that you're scared, instead of showing that you're looking out for your fellow man. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I get sick once or twice a year. Like, my immune system is great. You know what I mean? I'm not, quote unquote, scared of COVID. I am scared of passing it on to people. I'm scared of my mom, who's been smoking since she was 25, catching it from me. You know what I mean? That's what I'm concerned about. So, like I said, I just think that whole no fear shit is such macho bullshit. But that is the American exceptionalism that has been the fucking downfall of this whole COVID experience. Everyone thinks, oh, we're a tough guy. We're not supposed to be scared in this country. This is the land of the free. And it's just bullshit, bro. Just look out for your fellow man and put that fucking mask on, dude.
I mean, at first, we all were scared, right? You know what I mean? We're all like, when we didn't know what was happening, right? You know what I mean? As we learn more about it, like, we, for the most part, like, we don't know how it's going to affect us, but we're vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? We should be fine. You know what I mean? So obviously I'm not wearing a mask for fucking me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not afraid. Bro, if it was just me out here, I'd be out here wilding. I'd be a wild boy. You know what I'm saying? We'd be the streets would not be dead. You feel me? I'm doing it for the people around me. You feel me? So, like, dog, like, it's really ignorant. I think it's willfully ignorant too. I don't think Kyrie's. I think Kyrie is weird. I don't think he's dumb. You know what I mean?
He's definitely not dumb, but he's also the kind of intelligent that you expected this tweet from him, right?
Right. But no fear. That's, to me, that's willful ignorance. Just we've been talking about it enough to do it for the people around us that we think don't have a good chance fighting against COVID. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you would even say that anymore. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. This took away the fun of the Nicki Minaj shit here.
No. We're gonna bring it back around. But I did want to say, we mentioned previously on the show, like, this is the problem with our country, is you could write this tweet about anything and it would be effective, right? Because, like, it's just how Americans are wired. Like, oh, you're wearing a seatbelt because you're a pussy, or like, oh, you like.
But when you ask them about guns, I have the right to protect my family. From who, nigga? From who? You scary ass motherfucker. You need a gun to feel comfortable out here? You exist within fear constantly. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers out here carrying guns on them at all times. What the fuck do you call that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The most fearful people are saying no fear. That's what's weird to me.
And we talked about, like, the most effective way to get American men to take the vaccine would be to say that, like, they're a pussy if they don't get the vaccine, right? Like, that's just, it's just how motivation happens. I don't remember if I brought it up on the show previously or not, but Beyond Meat or Impossible Meat or whoever did a campaign in Texas that was, are you afraid you'll like it? And their sales went up like 300% in Texas because it was that, like, well, yeah,
you gonna challenge me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That Marty McFly, don't call me chicken.
Like, everyone in this country, and I do feel like this is across racial boundaries and socioeconomic boundaries, like, every man in this country feels like they're John McClane to some extent. Like, everyone's been at an airport thinking, like, if something went crazy right now, I'd put that motherfucker in a headlock. Like,
you wouldn't, bitch ass nigga. Shut up, dog. Man, dog, that's wild. It's wild to me.
But anyway, that was just the point I wanted to make along the lines of what Tyler was talking about, is you can say no, like, don't be afraid of, like, literally, like, oh, you look both ways before you walk into the street. Like, you can do that about anything. And it's like, that's what, No, I don't think it's fear. I think there's a difference between caution and common sense and fear, you know? And so my response is, are you afraid to wear a mask? You know, like, you're too much of a pussy to wear a mask. Is the mask on your face that big of a deal? Does it feel like nuts on your chin? Like, what's your problem, you know? All right, speaking of
I hate
nuts,
us. I hate us.
What's that?
I hate us. I hate us.
I
I hate the whole, like, the way we operate here is just fucking sickening, bro. Anyway.
Speaking of testes, Nicki Minaj tweeted a tweet that has 113,000 quote tweets. My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. Gentlemen, your thoughts.
What STD do you think it was? Definitely wasn't the fucking vaccine. Mans was out here fucking, okay? That's why the wedding is off, my G. And that's why his balls are swollen. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if this even happened, bro. Like, I put way too much thought into this swollen ball hypothetical that I should have. But I'm not sure if the swollen ball dude exists. I'm not sure if the cousin exists. The only person we know who is real in all of this is Nicki Minaj, right? Like, that's the only person we know for a concrete fact who is a real person in this scenario, right? And so here's been kind of my train of thought. I really put a lot of thought into this shit. Okay, so if Nicki Minaj's cousin exists and really said this, that doesn't necessarily mean that the cousin's friend exists, right? Because the cousin could have lied. Okay. Now, if the
You've been watching What If
friend
too much.
actually does exist,
This man been watching a lot
Tyler,
of What If.
Tyler Studios, What If?
Wow, high too.
okay, so now if the cousin's friend exists, that means the cousin exists, and we know Nicki Minaj exists, so that means everyone exists here, right? But here's my thing. I'm not sure if the cousin exists, because my whole thing is this. I think that the cousin in question, it hasn't been implied that he's a man, but I think it's a man, because I don't think that a dude would open up to his homegirl about, you know, his nut situation, right? I don't think that most men would talk to their homegirl about that. You know what I'm saying? And I also don't think this. I don't think that a marriage being called off as the devastating plotline, like, men don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean? So I don't think the cousin exists. I don't think the cousin's friend exists. I think Nicki Minaj is full of shit, and she pulled out a goddamn swollen ball wedding called off hypothetical. That's where I'm at with it.
But what if?
I put way too much thought into this shit, bro. Way too much.
Here's my what if response. What if it is a woman cousin, and the friend is a man, and Nicki Minaj's cousin is the one who slept with the man and gave him the clap and fucked his wedding up? So what if Nicki Minaj is hearing, man, my name's getting dragged through the streets in Trinidad right now. My cousin's out here being a homewrecker. So she calls her cousin, and the cousin says, you know what? He got the vaccine and his balls swole up. So that's why they called the wedding off. You know, I'm not out here ruining the Minaj name.
Here's another point that I forgot to mention why I think this cousin doesn't exist. We know that odds are that this cousin is not in Nicki Minaj's tax bracket, right? 99% of the people on the planet aren't, right? So odds are that this person is nowhere near as wealthy as Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj does not strike me as someone who talks to the poors, family or not. You know what I mean? She does not strike me as someone who conversates with the normals. So that's another reason why I think this cousin doesn't exist, bro.
Dog, but the thing is, what if the cousin exists? And what if he just lied and it is an STD? And this lie made it all the way to Nicki Minaj's timeline. And it's like, God damn, this was not supposed to make it this far. You know what I mean? I was just trying to hide the fact that I got the fucking clap. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to hide that. And now the whole world is talking about me. You feel me? I don't know, bro. I don't.
We got Tucker Carlson on the case now and shit.
I think all of it's. I think it's bullshit. I think the cousin may exist, but I don't know if the dude actually exists. I don't think that actually. But what makes you want to? If you're Nicki Minaj, what do you gain by making up this elaborate ass story. Other than, you know, I mean, she's like you said, she's super rich. Or she's in a tax bracket that I can't even understand. You know what I'm saying? And she's online telling us, you know, bedtime Twitter stories, late night Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Why?
Well, it came up because she didn't go to the Met because they required you to be vaccinated and she wasn't vaccinated, right?
Yeah, but like this is what you go.
So there's the motive.
She's a rapper,
there's the motive
which is
for
a
that.
storyteller in a way. So
she's
that
like,
makes
and
sense.
this is why I feel like Tyler's right, because anytime you hear my cousin's blank, it's like it's always. I mean, how many of our cousins had friends? How many friends of ours had cousins who had friends who work in the Pentagon over the last fucking 18 months? You know what I mean? Like,
what was her name? Takesha?
Listen, bro.
My cousin Takesha. Like, she had us all in a tizzy. Bro. We was all buying bread and bonds. You feel me?
Also, look at all the distancing in Nicki Minaj's story. My cousin in Trinidad's friend. Like, she is trying to separate this, you know, trying to not have it tracked back out. This shit don't add up. She's lying, bro.
So I feel
that's where I stand.
I feel like she.
And why the fuck would you lie about swollen balls and wedding?
But I think the reason she lied is there was a headline out there that she was not at the Met because she wasn't vaccinated. I think I mentioned to you guys a friend of mine who's a young black woman who was not going to get the vaccine, covered one of these anti-vax protests, and then went and got the vaccine right afterwards. Maybe Nicki Minaj is seeing all of the lions, not sheep protests, sees this headline about herself and is like, I better make sure people don't think I'm one of those because I don't want to associate with those pores. So it's like, listen, this thing happened in my family. That's why I'm not doing it. You know what I mean?
That's one hell of a lie, though. God damn. Just say a regular one. You know, I mean, what happened to a good old regular lie? I mean, dude, when you're going, like you said, all that distancing, you're going to all the way to Trinidad with it, with your cousin and then the cousin's friend, so it can't be tracked to something. Like, that's a lot going in. Right. That's a lot of thought into just saying, into why you didn't get the vaccine. There's an easier way to tell that story. You know what I'm saying?